Michael Carter drives home through the snow. 11:30 p.m., late for a weeknight, but Sophie's piano recital ran long. "Daddy, did you see me? I didn't miss any notes." Sophie bounces in her booster seat. "You were perfect, sweetheart." Michael keeps his eyes on the road. The snow is getting heavier. "Can we get hot chocolate when we get home? It's late. You have school tomorrow. Please, just a little cup?" Michael smiles. "Okay, a small one." They drive along Route 12. The road winds through woods. Not many houses out here. That's when Michael sees the headlights. A car coming fast. Too fast for these conditions. "Daddy, that car!" The Mercedes slides sideways. The brake lights flash. Once, twice. The car isn't slowing. "Hold on, Sophie!" Michael pulls to the side. The Mercedes shoots past them. Fishtails. The driver fights the wheel. Behind the Mercedes, a black sedan follows, maintaining distance, not helping. The Mercedes hits the curve, doesn't make it, leaves the road, slams into a massive tree. The sound of the impact echoes through the quiet night. "Oh God," Michael pulls over. "Sophie, stay in the car. Lock the doors. Don't open them for anyone but me." "Daddy, what's happening?" "Someone's hurt. I need to help. Stay here. I'll be right back." He runs through the snow. The black sedan slows, stops on the road for a moment, then drives away. Michael reaches the Mercedes. Steam rises from the crushed hood. The driver's side door is crumpled. Inside, a woman. Blood on her face, not moving. "Can you hear me? Stay awake!" He pulls at the door. It won't open. He braces his feet, pulls harder. Metal groans. The door opens. "Stay with me." "Help is coming. What's your name?" Her lips move. No sound. Her hand reaches up, grabs his jacket. Her eyes close. "No, don't you dare. Stay with me." He calls 911, gives the location. Then carefully, so carefully, he lifts her from the wreckage. Sophie watches from the truck, her small face pressed against the window, frightened but trusting. Michael lays the woman on the ground, checks for breathing. She's alive. Barely. The ambulance arrives 10 minutes later. Feels like hours. As they load the woman into the ambulance, Sophie calls out, "Daddy, is the angel lady going to be okay?" Michael looks at his daughter, then at the woman. "I hope so, sweetheart. I really hope so." The ambulance siren cuts through the night. 1:30 a.m. Michael follows in his truck. He doesn't know why. He just knows he can't leave her. At the hospital, paramedics rush her inside. A nurse stops Michael at the doors. "Are you family?" "No. I'm the one who found her. I called 911. The nurse checks Victoria's purse, finds her driver's license, her phone. "We'll contact her emergency contacts." Michael sits in the waiting area. The plastic chair digs into his back. He doesn't move. 2:30 a.m. His phone rings. Unknown number. "Mr. Carter? This is County Hospital. The patient you brought in, Victoria Bradford. Her emergency contact is asking about you. Did you witness the accident?" "Yes." "Her brakes failed. The car went off the road." "Thank you. Please stay. Police will want a statement." 3 a.m. Two people burst through the doors. A man in an expensive coat. A woman with diamonds at her throat. They don't ask about Victoria. They approach the reception desk. "Where are her belongings?" the man asks. "Her phone? Her briefcase?" "Sir, your niece is in surgery." The woman's voice is soft, concerned. "Of course. We're just worried. If she doesn't make it, we need to notify the other family members. The will was just read, you know." Michael stands, walks closer. "You're her family." The man turns. His face is perfectly composed, grief-stricken. "Yes. And you are?" "I pulled her from the wreck." A doctor emerges. Dr. Morgan. His scrubs are stained red. "She's critical. Brain trauma. We need consent for emergency surgery. Without it, she'll die within hours. The man, Marcus, looks at the woman, then back at the doctor. What are the odds of survival? 15%. But without surgery, 0. Marcus's face shows perfect anguish. Doctor, I want to be realistic. 15% isn't much hope. And Victoria, she wouldn't want to live as a vegetable. Perhaps we should let her go peacefully. The woman, Sarah, touches his arm, nods sadly. Michael's hands clench. What about life support? Giving her more time? Dr. Morgan shakes his head. Her brain is swelling. Every minute counts. Then operate. I'll sign as a witness. I'll guarantee payment. Dr. Morgan looks at Marcus. Marcus hesitates, then nods slowly. If this stranger is willing to take financial responsibility, I suppose we should try. The surgery takes 6 hours. Michael gives his statement to police, then waits. At 8 a.m., Dr. Morgan emerges. His face shows disbelief. She's stable. The swelling stopped. I don't understand how, but she's recovering. 2 days later, Victoria opens her eyes. The nurse, Jennifer, leans close. You're very lucky. The man who found you, he stayed. Paid your initial deposit. $10,000. Victoria's voice cracks. Who is he? Michael Carter. He left his number if you want to thank him. That night, Victoria wakes to voices in the hallway. Marcus and Sarah, speaking in low tones. She can just make out the words. The transfer is done? $2 million. Small enough to avoid flags. We'll move more after the funeral. There won't be a funeral. She's alive. Then we need to finish this. Make it look like complications. I'll talk to someone on staff. Victoria's hands shake under the sheets. She presses the call button. When the nurse arrives, Victoria whispers, I need Dr. Morgan. Alone. Emergency. Dr. Morgan comes. Victoria tells him what she heard. His face goes pale. I'll call hospital security. No, they said someone on staff. We don't know who. Victoria grabs his hand. I need your help. I need to disappear. You want to fake your death. Not fake. Just let them think I died from complications. Then move me somewhere safe until I can get help. Dr. Morgan is quiet. I could lose my license, my career, 20 years of practice. They'll kill me. Please. He thinks for a long moment, then nods. I have a colleague, Dr. Patterson at County General. I'll call in a favor. We'll say we're transferring you for specialized treatment, but to your family, you'll have died during transport. That night, an ambulance arrives. Victoria is loaded in. The official record shows cardiac arrest during transfer. Dr. Morgan provides the death certificate. Natural causes. Complications from trauma. Marcus and Sarah receive the news by phone. Through the ambulance window, Victoria sees Sarah's face. Relief flashes across it before she remembers to look sad. The ambulance drives to County General. Dr. Patterson admits her under a false name. Jane Miller. You'll stay here until you're strong enough to leave, Dr. Patterson says. Then, you're on your own. Victoria looks at the burner phone Dr. Morgan gave her. One number programmed in. Michael Carter. The witness name from the police report. The man who saved her once. Who pulled her from the wreckage while his daughter watched. Maybe he'll help her again. She texts. This is Victoria Bradford, the woman from the accident. I need help. Can we meet? The reply comes in seconds. Where? They meet at a diner 40 miles from the city. Victoria wears a wig. Sunglasses. Michael doesn't recognize her at first. Victoria? She removes the glasses. He sees the healing bruises, the haunted eyes. They think you're dead. I know. I need a place to stay, just for a few days, until I figure out what to do. Michael is quiet. Your family tried to kill you. Yes. And you want to prove it. Yes. He signals the waitress, orders coffee, thinks. I have a daughter, Sophie. She's 8. If I help you, I'm putting her at risk. I understand. Victoria stands to leave. Sit down. Michael's voice is firm. I didn't say no, but you need to tell me everything. No secrets. They talk for 2 hours. Victoria explains the will, the 6-month clause, the 80% inheritance, the conversation she overheard. I need evidence, she says. Financial records. Proof Marcus is stealing. Proof they tried to kill me. You can't access company systems. You're dead. I have one person I trust. James, my personal assistant. He can pull records without raising flags. Michael leans back. And where do I come in? I need a place to hide. And I know about your father. The Bradford Industries scandal 20 years ago. Michael goes still. I think Marcus framed him. I want to prove that too. Michael's jaw clenches. How do you know about my father? I looked you up after the accident. Before all this happened. I was curious about the man who saved me. She meets his eyes. I'm sorry for what my family did to yours. Michael looks out the window, at the parking lot, at the normal world going by. You can stay. But Sophie, she saw the accident. She'll recognize you. She was there? I was driving her home from her piano recital. She saw me pull you from the car. She's been asking about you. The angel lady, she calls you. Victoria's throat tightens. I'm sorry she had to see that. She's stronger than you think, but she'll have questions. I'll answer them honestly. Michael nods. And Victoria, we're going to need more than just financial records. We need someone on the inside, someone who can testify. Victoria already knows who. David, her cousin. The weak link. Victoria moves into Michael's spare room. It's small, plain, nothing like her penthouse. When Sophie sees her, the little girl stops in the hallway. Stares. You're the angel lady from the accident. Victoria kneels down, eye level. Yes, I'm Victoria. Daddy saved you. I saw him. You were hurt really bad. He did save me. Your daddy is a hero. Sophie's eyes fill with tears. I was so scared. I thought you were going to die. Victoria pulls her into a hug. I'm okay now, thanks to your daddy, and thanks to you. Me? I didn't do anything. You stayed in the truck. You were brave. That helped your daddy focus on saving me. Sophie hugs her tighter. Are you staying with us? For a little while. Is that okay? Sophie nods against her shoulder. Daddy helps people. That's what Mommy used to say. Victoria's throat tightens. This little girl who lost her mother, who watched a stranger nearly die, who still has room in her heart to care. For the first week, Victoria heals. Physically, emotionally. She learns what normal life feels like. Sophie talks to her constantly, about school, about her piano lessons, about her mom. Mommy died 3 years ago. She was sick. Daddy says she's watching us from heaven. I'm sure she is. Do you have a mommy? Victoria's chest aches. I did. She died when I was young, but I think about her every day. Sophie takes her hand. Then our mommies can be friends in heaven. Victoria has to look away, blink back tears. She calls James from a burner phone. It's me. Silence. Then, Miss Bradford. But the news said, I'm alive, and I need your help. Can you check something without accessing my accounts directly? Use your own credentials. What am I looking for? Money transfers. Anything Marcus initiated after my grandfather died? James calls back 2 days later. He's been moving funds, small amounts. 2 million here, 3 million there, routing them through subsidiaries. I think he's hoping no one notices until the board does the quarterly review. Can you get me paper trails? Routing numbers? Authorization signatures? I can pull reports. But Ms. Bradford, this is dangerous. If he finds out I'm helping you, be careful. And James, thank you. The second week, Victoria reaches out to David. A cryptic text from an unknown number. "We need to talk about what Marcus is planning. Meet me at the Cedar Grove hiking trail, 11 a.m. Saturday. Come alone." David shows up. He looks terrible, thin, dark circles under his eyes. Victoria steps out from behind a tree. David jumps. "Jesus, you're alive? Marcus tried to kill me. I need to know if you were part of it." David's face crumples. "He threatened my family, my wife, my kids. He showed me pictures of Emma's school, the route Linda takes to work. He said accidents happen to people who don't help family." "What did he ask you to do?" "Sabotage your car. I work at the dealership where you take your Mercedes for service. I had access." His voice breaks. "I did it. I drained the brake fluid, set it to fail gradually so you'd be far from the dealership when it happened." Victoria's hands shake. "You knew I'd crash. I knew you'd lose brakes. But I chose that route because there's houses nearby. I thought someone would hear. Would help." He looks at her. "I called 911 from a payphone after you left. Told them a car was driving erratically on Route 12. I hoped they'd get there in time. Michael got there first." David nods. "I've been sick about it every day since. I can't sleep. I can't look at my daughter. Marcus and Sarah are planning to kill me again, in the hospital. They have someone on staff. I know. They told me to be ready to take over your position at the company, to vote with Marcus on the board." Victoria takes a risk. "I need you to wear a wire, record conversations with Marcus, get him to talk about the plan." David goes pale. "If he finds out, he'll kill me, kill my family. I'm working with the FBI. They'll protect you, witness protection if needed." David looks at the ground, at his shaking hands. "What do I have to do?" The FBI agent's name is Sarah Morrison. She's been investigating Bradford Industries for securities fraud for 6 months. When Victoria's lawyer, at her grandfather's instruction, contacts the FBI about potential foul play, Morrison sees an opportunity. "You're dead on paper," Morrison says. "That's actually useful. Marcus will be bolder, more careless." They wire David with a small device. It looks like a button on his shirt. "Just have normal conversations," Morrison instructs. "Let him bring up the plans naturally." For 3 days, David meets with Marcus, talks about business, about the company, about Victoria's funeral arrangements. On the 4th day, Marcus calls him to his new office, Victoria's old office. "David, I need you to do something else for me." "What?" "There's a witness. The man who pulled Victoria from the car, Michael Carter. He gave a statement to police. Said the brakes failed." David's heart pounds. The wire feels like it's burning through his shirt. "What about him?" "He's a problem. If anyone investigates the accident, he's evidence that it wasn't natural. I need you to encourage him to change his statement. Or forget what he saw." "How?" Marcus opens a drawer, pulls out a folder. Photos of Michael, of Sophie at school, of their house. "Everyone has pressure points, David. Everyone has something to lose." David's voice shakes. "You want me to threaten a child?" "I want you to make sure there are no loose ends. Can you do that?" I'll take care of it." Marcus smiles. "Good. Because David, if you become a problem too, well." He opens another folder. Photos of David's family. "I'd hate for anything to happen to Emma. She's such a pretty little girl." David leaves, drives to the FBI field office, walks in shaking. "I got it. All of it." Morrison plays back the recording, the threats, the photos, Marcus's voice clear and cold. "This is conspiracy to commit murder, intimidation, enough for a warrant. What happens now? Now, we set a trap." Morrison's plan is simple. David tells Marcus he's located Michael Carter, suggests they meet to discuss the situation. A neutral location. A restaurant. Marcus agrees. Brings Sarah and 2 men in suits. Not lawyers, enforcers. The restaurant is wired. FBI agents and unmarked cars surround the building. Morrison sits in a van 2 blocks away, listening. Michael is at the restaurant. He's not bait. He's a witness. Prepared. Protected. David arrives first. Sits at the table. His hands shake so badly he can't hold his water glass. Marcus and Sarah walk in. The 2 men take a table nearby. "Where is he?" Marcus asks. "He's coming. He doesn't know what this is about. I told him it was about insurance paperwork." Michael enters. Sees David. Confusion crosses his face. Marcus stands. Extends a hand. "Mr. Carter, thank you for coming. I'm Marcus Bradford, Victoria's uncle." Michael doesn't shake. "What's this about?" "Please, sit. We need to discuss your statement to the police." "About Victoria's accident." Michael sits. "What about it?" "You said the brakes failed, but the police report says the roads were icy, poor conditions, an unfortunate accident." "The brakes failed. I checked the car." Marcus's smile doesn't reach his eyes. "Mr. Carter, I understand you have a daughter. Sophie, is it? 8 years old?" Michael's face goes hard. "Don't. I'm simply pointing out that you have responsibilities, a child to protect. And sometimes, our memories of traumatic events are unreliable. Are you threatening my daughter? I'm encouraging you to reconsider what you saw." That's when the doors burst open. FBI agents, vests marked clearly, guns drawn. "FBI, hands where we can see them!" Marcus stands. There must be some mistake. Morrison enters, walks straight to Marcus. "Marcus Bradford, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, witness intimidation, and securities fraud." Agents grab Marcus and Sarah, handcuff them. One of the enforcers reaches for his jacket. An agent tackles him before he can draw. Marcus looks at David. Understanding floods his face. "You." David meets his eyes. "I couldn't let you hurt anyone else." Morrison holds up a phone. "We have everything. Every conversation. Every threat. Every crime." Marcus says nothing. His lawyer will tell him to stay quiet. But Sarah breaks. "This is insane. We didn't do anything. Victoria died in an accident." Morrison smiles. Actually, she didn't die at all. The blood drains from Sarah's face. Victoria enters the FBI field office through a side entrance. She's been here before, giving her statement. Building the case. Now, with Marcus and Sarah in custody, Morrison says it's time for the full truth. Your grandfather left 3 sealed envelopes with his attorney. Instructions to open them only if certain conditions were met. Your death was one condition. Your survival and Marcus's arrest was another. The attorney, an elderly man named Richard Pearson, opens the first envelope. This contains evidence your grandfather collected over 20 years. He suspected Marcus of multiple crimes, but could never prove them definitively. Until recently, Victoria reads the documents, financial audits, private investigator reports, and then evidence about her mother's death 27 years ago. Your mother didn't die of heart failure. She was poisoned. Arsenic, administered over several weeks to mimic heart disease. Victoria's throat closes. Your mother discovered Marcus was embezzling from the company. She confronted him privately, gave him a chance to return the money. He killed her instead. The investigator's report includes testimony from a nurse who worked at the hospital. She'd been suspicious at the time, but too afraid to report it. Years later, guilt drove her to contact Bradford's investigator. There are toxicology reports, retests done on preserved tissue samples, clear evidence of arsenic poisoning. Your grandfather wanted to prosecute, Pearson says, but he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He had 6 months to live. He was afraid Marcus would destroy the company before he could protect you. So he created a plan, the will. The conditions. He knew Marcus would try to kill you. And he knew that when Marcus acted, he'd finally have the evidence to put him away. Michael sits beside Victoria. She can't speak. The second envelope is for you, Mr. Carter. Michael opens it. Inside is a letter. Michael, I'm sorry. I believed my brother when he blamed your father. By the time I learned the truth, your father was gone. I can't undo that. But I can try to make it right. I'm leaving you 30% of Bradford Industries, not as compensation, as recognition. Your father was an honest man who tried to stop corruption. You deserve to be part of the company he tried to protect. Michael's hands tremble. He knew about me? Pearson nods. He had investigators track your life. When he learned you were an architect working near Victoria's route home, I think he hoped fate would bring you together. Morrison stands. With this evidence, we can charge Marcus with first-degree murder for your mother's death. Combined with the attempt on your life, the witness intimidation, and the embezzlement, he's looking at life in prison without parole. 2 weeks later, Victoria stands before the Bradford Industries Board of Directors. I'm reclaiming my position as CEO. Marcus's appointment was obtained through fraud and is therefore void. The board votes unanimously. Victoria makes changes, 50% of profits to charity. The Carter Bradford Memorial Fund for families destroyed by corporate corruption. Michael as a consulting partner. At the press conference, reporters ask about Marcus. My uncle will face justice for his crimes, including the murder of my mother 27 years ago. The story breaks nationally. The public responds with overwhelming support. But Victoria knows the fight isn't over. Marcus has connections, money, lawyers, and he still has one card to play. Victoria moves into a secure apartment, FBI protection. Her penthouse isn't safe, but she spends most evenings at Michael's house. It feels more like home. One night, Sophie is asleep. Michael and Victoria sit on the porch. Why are you still here? He asks. Because you make me feel safe. Michael's hand finds hers. Victoria, I need to tell you something. What? When I pulled you from that car, I felt something. I can't explain it. Like I was supposed to find you. Victoria turns to him. I felt it too, in the hospital. When you held my hand, I knew I had to fight, had to survive. They kiss. Gentle. Real. Sophie's voice breaks the moment. About time. They pull apart. Sophie grins from the doorway. How long have you been there? Long enough. So does this mean Victoria is staying? Michael looks at Victoria. I hope so. Sophie runs over, hugs them both. Finally, a new family. The next month, Victoria works to rebuild Bradford Industries, implements new oversight, fires the board members who were complicit in Marcus's schemes. At a board meeting, an investor raises concerns. Ms. Bradford, your relationship with Mr. Carter presents a conflict of interest. He's been awarded a consulting contract. Victoria stands. Michael Carter was awarded that contract because he's the best sustainable architect in the region. His designs will save this company millions while meeting new environmental standards. Any other questions about his qualifications? No one speaks. One evening, Michael takes Victoria and Sophie to a park. The same place where he used to bring Sophie with his late wife. Victoria, I don't have a mansion or millions, but I have a heart that's yours. He kneels. Sophie holds a small box. Will you marry us? Sophie opens it. A simple ring. Victoria kneels too, pulls them both close. Yes, 1,000 times yes. But as they leave the park, 3 black cars block their path. Men in suits emerge. Professional, dangerous. An older man steps forward. Silver hair, expensive suit. He looks like a businessman, not a criminal. Ms. Bradford, Vincent Carbone. We need to talk about a debt. Michael steps in front of Victoria and Sophie. She doesn't owe you anything. Carbone's voice is calm, reasonable. Marcus Bradford borrowed $20 million from my organization. He's in prison, unable to repay. In our business, the debt transfers to the family. That's not legal. Legal is a flexible concept, Mr. Carter. The reality is, someone needs to pay, or there are consequences. Victoria steps forward. I'm not responsible for Marcus's debts. The law might agree with you, but we don't operate within the law. He looks at Sophie. Lovely daughter you have, Mr. Carter. Michael's fists clench. Victoria pulls out her phone. I'm calling the FBI. Carbone smiles. Go ahead. But Miss Bradford, the FBI can't protect you 24/7. They can't watch your fiancé at his office, can't watch his daughter at school. Accidents happen. Buildings have fires. Children get lost. He hands Victoria a card. You have 1 week, $20 million, or everyone you love starts disappearing. He gets back in his car. The vehicles drive away. Victoria looks at the card. A phone number. Nothing else. We need Morrison, Michael says. He'll kill Sophie. You heard him. Then what do we do? Victoria thinks. We negotiate. But on our terms. Victoria doesn't call the number immediately. First, she does research. Vincent Carbone runs a legitimate construction business. Also runs a loan sharking operation. Ties to organized crime in New Jersey. She calls Morrison. Carbone approached me, demanding $20 million. We can arrest him for extortion. And then what? His organization retaliates. Sophie is 8 years old. Morrison is quiet. What do you want to do? I want to make a deal, but I need leverage. Morrison makes calls. 2 days later, she calls back. Carbone has bigger problems than your debt. He's under investigation by the New Jersey State Police. Racketeering. We can offer him something. What? We can make the state investigation go away if he provides testimony against Marcus's corruption network and forgives your debt. You can do that. I can talk to people. But Victoria, you need to understand, if we make this deal, Carbone walks on serious charges. I understand. But Sophie is more important than justice for a loan shark. The meeting is arranged. A lawyer's office, neutral ground, FBI present. Carbone brings his attorney. Victoria sits across from him. I have a proposal. Carbone listens. I'll pay you $10 million, half of what Marcus owed, from the money he embezzled from my company. That money was never his to borrow. Why would I accept half? Because the FBI is offering you immunity on racketeering charges in New Jersey. You testify against everyone Marcus bribed. Everyone in his network. You walk away clean with $10 million and no prison time. Carbone looks at his lawyer. The lawyer nods. And if I refuse? Morrison speaks up. Then we arrest you for extortion and witness intimidation. You go to prison. Your business collapses. Your competitors take over your territory. Carbone studies Victoria. You're smarter than your uncle. He thought he could play both sides. I'm not playing. I'm offering a solution that works for everyone. Carbone extends his hand. Deal. I'll provide testimony. Full cooperation. They shake. The threat ends. The money transfers from seized Bradford assets. Carbone gives the FBI names, records, everything. That night, Victoria and Michael sit on his porch. It's over? He asks. Almost. There's one more thing. She pulls out an envelope. From my grandfather. For you. Michael opens the envelope. His name is written in shaky handwriting across the front. The letter inside is 3 pages long. Michael Carter. I'm writing this 3 months before I'll die. The cancer is terminal. I have things I need to say while I still can. Michael's voice shakes as he reads aloud. 20 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life. I believed my brother when he said your father was embezzling from the company. I didn't investigate deeply enough. I didn't question the evidence he showed me. I trusted family over facts. By the time I learned the truth, your father was gone. Thomas Carter was an honest man who discovered my brother's crimes and tried to stop him. Marcus framed him, destroyed him, and I helped by being willfully blind. I can't undo that. I can't bring your father back. But I can try to make things right for you. I'm leaving you 30% of Bradford Industries, not as compensation. That would be insulting. But as recognition that you deserve to be part of the company your father tried to protect. I've also established a trust fund, $5 million, for you and any future children you may have. It's managed independently. No one can touch it. Finally, I want you to know something. When I learned you were an architect working near Victoria's regular route home, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. I believe in fate. I believe you were meant to find her, to protect her from the same evil that destroyed your father. Take care of my granddaughter. She's all I have left. And Michael, tell her I'm sorry. Sorry I couldn't stop Marcus sooner. Sorry she had to face this alone. James Bradford. Michael sets the letter down. Tears stream down his face. Victoria takes his hand. Can't speak. Sophie appears in the doorway, sees them both crying, runs over. Why is everyone sad? Michael pulls her close. Not sad, just remembering. Sometimes we cry when we remember people we love. Like Mommy? Yes, sweetheart. Like Mommy. Victoria kneels down to Sophie's level. And like my mommy, too. And my grandpa. And Michael's daddy. Sophie hugs them both. They're watching us from heaven, making sure we're okay. 3 weeks later, they plan a small wedding. 50 people, close friends, colleagues from the company who Victoria trusts. The location, the park where Michael proposed. The night before, Victoria drives to the cemetery. Alone. She needs this moment. At her grandfather's grave, she places fresh flowers, sits on the grass. Grandpa, I found him. You were right about Michael. He's everything you said he'd be. We're building something new. The company you loved. The family I never had. Everything you wanted. The wind rustles through the trees. As she stands to leave, she notices something. A small sealed box attached to the base of the gravestone. Recent. The attorney must have placed it there. Inside is a note and a key. Victoria, if you're reading this on your wedding day, I'm happy. Safety deposit box 447 at First National Bank. Inside is something for your future. Use it wisely. Build something good. Love, Grandpa. The next morning is clear. Perfect for a wedding. Victoria stands in a small room at the park pavilion. Her dress is simple, elegant. No veil. Sophie bursts in. It's time. Daddy's waiting. They walk together to where Michael stands. 50 people watch, but Victoria only sees him, and Sophie holding the rings. This is her family now. Michael's vows first. I promise to always save you, not because you need saving, but because I choose you, every single day. Victoria's turn. I promise to always come home, not to a house, but to you, to us, to this family. Sophie steps forward, and I promise to be the best daughter ever. They kiss. Sophie jumps between them. After the wedding, Victoria visits the bank, opens box 447. Inside, documents establishing a charitable trust, $100 million. Designated specifically for families destroyed by false accusations and corporate fraud. A note in her grandfather's handwriting. I couldn't save Thomas Carter. But you can save others like him. 6 months later, the Carter Bradford Foundation opens. Free legal defense for the wrongly accused. Financial support for families fighting corporate corruption. In the first year, they helped 200 families. 5 years pass. Victoria is still CEO, but she leaves at 5 p.m. every day. No exceptions. Sophie is 13, wants to be a lawyer. To help people like Grandpa Carter, they have a son, James, named after Victoria's grandfather. One evening, Victoria sits at her desk, 3 photos in frames, her grandfather, Michael and Sophie, her whole family. She looks out the window. Michael plays with the kids in the yard. Victoria smiles, thinks about the night her car crashed. The moment Michael pulled her from the wreckage, her grandfather was right about one thing. The Carter boy had his father's heart, and that heart saved her in every way a person can be saved. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who choose to stay when they could walk away.